Okay, so I'm gonna jump right in here. So today we're gonna be working on inequalities, and it's gonna be a little more complicated than it was yesterday. So let's start by reading the problem. It says, Mr. Ray is hosting a make-your-own ice cream sundae party. He spends $5.50 on sprinkles and $4 on chocolate syrup. He needs 1 bowl of vanilla ice cream for each person at the party. A bowl of vanilla ice cream costs $1.50 each. Mr. Ray has $75 to spend on the party. Define your variable and write an equation or inequality to model your scenario. All right, so this is kind of a dense problem, and whenever I get a problem like this, honestly, this is just a strategy I would use, is I always write down what it is that I know from the problem. Even though the information is right here, there's something about writing it down and organizing it for myself that helps me think about the information in a different way. So what I know. We're going to use that what I know strategy that we used for multiplying and dividing integers. Okay, so what do I know? So he spent already $5.50 on sprinkles, and he spent $4 on the chocolate syrup. I know that he needs 1 bowl of vanilla for each person at the party. I know that 1 bowl of vanilla costs $1.50. And I know that the total amount of money that he has to spend is $75. Okay, so my variable is going to come from the needs part. It's going to come from what I need from each person. So I know that when I'm at the store and I'm putting everything together and I'm trying to figure out what the cost is, I know that that's going to be addition because I'm trying to find out how much everything costs altogether. I know that it's less than or equal to because I know that I can't go over $75. This is what I already spent. If I add $5.50 and $4 together, what I end up with is $9.50. So I know that that's part of what I already spent. And then the other piece that I know is that it's going to cost $1.50 for each bowl of vanilla, but I don't know how many bowls of vanilla I'm going to need or how many I can buy, really. So that's how I end up with my equation. $1.50 for each bowl of vanilla. So that's cost of vanilla. This is the number of bowls, which is what I don't know, how many I can buy. This is what I already spent. And this is my total. So there's my inequality right there. Here it is. Okay, and look at all of that writing that I needed to do to get to that. Okay, so it is a lot of thinking, and sometimes it helps to put that thinking on the paper because it just helps you to be more organized. Okay, so the next part is going to be for solving that inequality. So my inequality statement was 150C plus 950 is less than or equal to $75. Now, what I want to do is I want to solve for C. That's going to give me the maximum number of bowls that I can buy, okay? Now, this is actually solving just like an equation. I can treat this just like an equal sign. So what I want to do is I want to solve for C. So this is actually a lot easier than the problems we've been doing. It's only 2 steps. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 950 from both sides. So what I'm left with on this side is $1.50 times C. Notice that this cancels because 950 minus 950, a plus 950 minus 950 is 0. Is less than or equal to, and now I have to do all of my borrowing here. So this is going to be 6. This is going to be 14. This is going to be 10. 0, 5, 5, 6. Okay, so my next step is to try to get the C by itself here. So now what I need to do is divide both sides by 150. So now this will cancel. And as soon as I figure out what this is equal to, I can find out my number of bowls. So over here on the side, I'm gonna divide 65.5 divided by 150. Sorry, you can't see. I can't actually divide with my decimal right here, so I have to move it over one place to the left, to the right. So what I end up with, and I have to do the same thing on the inside. So what I end up with is how many times does 15 go into 655.0. So 15 goes into 65 4 times. 15 times 4 is 60. 65 minus 60 is 0. Bring down my 5. 15 goes into 55 3 times. 15 times 3 is 45. 55 minus 45 is 10. Bring down my 0. Add my decimal point up here. 15 times 8 is 90. I'm going to end up with 10, so that's going to keep going. So my final answer is going to be 43.8 repeating. Okay, so what I know is that Mr. Ray, this is the context now, can buy 43 bowls. He can't buy 44. Okay, some kids in my first period were saying, well, 43.8 is really close to 44. But he can't actually buy 44 bowls, even though it is close because he doesn't have enough money. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just so you guys have another example here, I'm going to go ahead and solve the self-check. I'm not going to explain all of it, but you can watch it so that you can see kind of what I'm doing here. So Ms. Armstrong is buying prizes for her class. She spends $12.50 on candy bars and $15.25 on bags of chips. She wants to get Amazon gift cards as a special reward that costs $5 each. She has $120 to spend on her class altogether. Okay, so what I know... So I spent $12.50 and $15.25. My total is $120. So I can't spend less than $120. I already spent that. So $12.50 plus 15, 25, 5, 7, 7, 1, $17.75 plus 5C. So there's my inequality. Okay, so that's how much each gift card costs times the number that I want to buy plus what I already spent has to be less than 120. So now I'm going to go ahead and solve for that. Okay. Okay, so now what I have is 5C is less than or equal to 102.25. And I'm just checking my math to make sure that's right. Yeah, it is. Okay. So now what I need to do is divide both sides by 5. So I'm gonna have to do that math over here. Let me double check that subtraction. Be right back.